The kind of origin point for the Franklin 98 project was ultimately the Deepwater Horizon oil spill in 2010. The repercussions of it eventually did affect the county and the oyster fishery in the bay there. They actually lifted the regulations on the oysters in the bay. So everybody was harvesting at an accelerated rate. This actually ended up with the oyster fishery collapsing in about 2015. The Fish and Wildlife Conservation actually shut down the bay. With that in mind, we were thinking, how can we get some of the reparations from that oil spill and bring it back into the county? Because Franklin County suffered massive economic effects from this. And that's where we came up with the Franklin 98 Living Shoreline project. The living shoreline concept of oyster reefs and salt marsh is we're making a man-made version of what it historically was in the past. So it's a way of restoration and resiliency in kind of a one single package. We could picture a wave coming into the reef. As it hits the rocks, our goal is to kind of rob the wave of its energy. So one of the biggest benefits of the Living Shoreline project is reduction in cost for maintenance. We don't really need to maintain it. Once we establish the oyster reefs and establish the planted marsh, it'll look after itself.
So the biological impacts of this are just exponential, in my opinion. All positive, of course. You know, we're creating more habitat for fish, mammals, we're creating a hunting ground. I've seen bald eagles and osprey hunting at these reefs before, and they have very successful catches. And so hopefully we just help wildlife reestablish themselves along this coastline that has been tragically lost to climate change.
I get to preserve the coastline, enhance the environment, and help out the local community. Like, that's fantastic to me.